Welcome to Toyota Time with Timmy the Toolman and Sean. Today what we have for you is we're going to show you how to change out the coolant temperature sensor that sends information to the gauge on your dash to show the engine temperature. And the reason why I want to switch out that sensor is because I have a problem with the dash gauge. When I turn on the ignition and the engine is stone cold, the temperature gauge goes right up to an operating temperature, and that's obviously not right. So it's my theory that the sensor is bad, and if I replace the sensor, it's going to start working correctly. These motors have multiple coolant temperature sensors. On the front of the motor, right next to the cold start switch, is the sensor that communicates with the ECU. You'll also find that you might have a coolant temperature sensor screwed right into the water neck on the top of the motor, and that one is supposedly for the AC system. If the engine temperature is getting too high, that sensor is going to tell the AC to cut off so you don't overheat your motor. The third sensor is the one that we're going to be replacing, and that one is on the top of the motor near the electronic fuel injection module, right on top of the intake manifold. Let's go out to the truck and let me show you where all three of those coolant temperature sensors are. All right, let me show you the first sensor. It's screwed into the front of the motor. It's right next to the cold start switch. We'll go underneath this intake tube. This is the cold start switch, and then the one that's colored in green, that is the coolant temperature sensor that communicates with the ECU. Going back up to the top of the motor, the one that's screwed into the water neck right here, that's the one that is supposedly for the AC system. It will tell the AC to cut off if the engine's getting too hot. The one that we're going to be replacing is down in this area right here. And when I get the lighting better, you'll be able to see it. Okay, so here's the problem I'm talking about. The truck has been sitting all night. The engine is cold. I'm going to turn the key on, and you're going to see that the temperature gauge goes already up to an operating temperature level and not showing that the engine is cold. So you see how the needle rose all the way to a kind of little bit less than midway point? That's showing me that this temperature sending unit for the gauge is not working properly. So now let's go to the engine compartment. I'll show you where that sending unit is and we'll replace it. So I'll start off from up above the engine so you get an idea where you need to be to get to that sending unit. We have our electronic fuel injection right here. I'm standing on the passenger side wheel, and then we'll go down, and my pointer tool is pointing at the electrical connector, and then the sending unit is right there. So I have to get this electrical connector pulled off first, and then I could get on this with a deep socket and take it off. I found that getting my fingers in there and trying to pull off this connector was a little difficult. I couldn't get enough friction with my index finger and thumb to pull it off. So what I have here is a spark plug wire puller, and I was able to grab a hold of the connector and pull it off. Some of you might be inclined to grab a needle nose pliers, but that might be a situation where you might crack the connector. So using something soft tipped like this might be a better option. If not, maybe you can get like a little hook tool to get underneath the connector and pull up to where you can break free the connection. Now that I have the electrical connector disconnected, I'm going to get on the sending unit with the deep socket and unscrew it. I have a deep 17mm socket, medium length 3/8 inch extension, and then I have my gear wrench flex head 3/8 ratchet. Come down in here, get on top of the unit. It wasn't in there that tight. Okay, that's pretty loose. Now I'll just be able to spin it out by hand. Now I suppose this thing could go flying, so I'm going to try to get my hand down in there and grab it so it doesn't drop. Here's the old sending unit. When I had it all the way loose, what I did is I used that same spark plug wire tool. I grabbed the hold of the connector and pulled it up. If it drops to the ground, I guess no big deal because you're replacing it anyways. And also to note, obviously this is in the coolant channel, so coolant came out when I took this out. Let's compare the two parts. They look like they're identical, and so now all I have to do is put this back in and get it tight. I looked in my factory service manual and I could not find a torque spec to save my life for this, so I'm just going to get it snug and call it good. And another thing to note is I didn't see any type of thread locker on here, any Teflon tape, any Teflon paste. So obviously it just goes in dry, no type of tape or any type of sealant. So to get it into the hole, what I'm going to utilize again is the spark plug wire tool, and I'm going to drop it into the hole, and then I'm going to get my socket on there and get it started by hand. So you just have to go down in there straight as possible and drop it in. Okay, that seemed like it dropped in. And then now I'm just going to get the extension in my hand with the socket and see if I can get the thread started. I got the thread started by hand, and then I transitioned to the ratchet. I choked up on it a little bit because I don't want all the leverage that this long 3/8 ratchet offers. And I cinched it down snug. And then one of the things that lets me know I got it tightened about the same as it was before is the electrical connector is facing the same position. It's basically facing towards the passenger side, toward the EFI control module. So now all I have to do is slip the connector over the post. Okay, it's down on there. Now the moment of truth, I'm going to start it up and see if the temperature gauge is working properly, and then also check for leaks at that connection, make sure it's not leaking any coolant. Well, I put the key in the ignition, fingers crossed, hoping that the gauge problem was fixed, and it wasn't. The needle rose right up to an operating temperature with the engine cold. So the coolant temperature sensor I swapped out didn't fix the issue. What I did after that is I decided to tear out the dash cluster. It wasn't all that hard, but it was going to be really hard for me to film it by myself. But luckily it's not that hard to do. It's just a matter of taking a few screws out. You take the plastic trim piece out of there, and then you got to take some more screws out that hold the actual dash cluster in. What made it a little bit difficult was figuring out how to get a little bit more play to disconnect the speedometer cable. And what I figured out is I went underneath the truck, and if you follow where the speedometer cable goes through the firewall, you'll see a couple different places where there's these bend over clips. And if you bend those out and pull the speedometer cable free of those, then you get a lot more play to where you can pull that dash cluster further out away from the dash to get your hand behind to where you can disconnect the speedometer cable. And once you've done that, then it's pretty easy to get to the rest of the plugs, to unplug them to where you can get the whole dash cluster in your hand. Then what I did is I took the plastic cover off the dash cluster, and I literally just took my finger on the needle and pushed it and got it to free up. It was my thought that maybe the needle was just stuck there and it just wanted to go right up to that operating temperature. And lo and behold, it frickin' worked. Now it doesn't work 100% of the time. There's still on occasion where I'll turn the key on and it will do that weird thing where it'll go right up to operating temperature. But at least half of the time, probably more, it works properly. When the engine's cold, the needle's in the cold range and it slowly works its way up to the warm operating range. So I just wanted to share that with you in case you run into the same problem where you have that issue where the needle is going right up to an operating range. You've replaced the coolant temperature sensor and it's still not fixing your problem. There seems to be some type of issue where the needle has memory, I guess you can call it, and it just wants to go right up to that operating range. I did read something about that. Sometimes the issue could be just loose screws on the back of the gauge, and I checked the screws with a good JIS screwdriver and they weren't loose at all, because the theory is that the screws are loose and it's getting an improper contact and it's not reading correctly. But that wasn't my issue. The screws were really tight. I couldn't turn them at all. I was thinking about scrapping this video because I thought, well, it didn't fix my problem. It was kind of a waste of time. But then I started thinking, well, maybe there's really no videos out there showing people how to replace this coolant temperature sensor gauge. And I couldn't find one. So I think this video still has value. And that's why we decided to post it on our channel. With all that said, we thank you for watching Toyota Time with Timmy the Toolman and Sean. We'll be back with more videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you have any questions or comments, do that below. Take care. Bye-bye. Sick mods and sick 85 4Runners.